Stranger Things Season 4 had all the missing pieces, including fresh faces, scary scenes, and a ton of unsolved mysteries. But nothing's flawless. While several aspects were adored by viewers, others were, well, let's just say not so liked. Things got a little too heated when Redditors got into a passionate argument about whether it was the worst season of the show. Let's get right into it. Starting off with, the big bad wasn't that bad. Season 4 completely turned things around after making viewers believe that the Mind Flayer was the main bad guy. The major bombshell of Season 4 was the discovery of Vecna, aka Juan, aka Henry Creel, as the Upside Down's original architect. Since the finale aired, fans have been arguing about this plot twist a lot. Most people, particularly those who have already rewatched Stranger Things, think Vecna was present in Season 1 too. Confusing, right? Others believe that this change weakens the Mind Flayer because it was an alien creature that was far more interesting than a human, as stated by user UFaker 10101891. Yet some believe that the suspense leading up to Vecna was unfounded. It was something no one saw coming for sure. However, it wasn't necessarily a plot hole in the series that needed to be corrected, or overcorrected as some would say. We really hope that Season 5 ideally will explain Vecna's rise to power and relieve us of this suspense. We can't stand it.
Time for you to join me.
Following this, we all agree that Eddie didn't have to die. Eddie Munson has remained popular among the audience since his initial appearance in Chapter 1, The Hellfire Club. The Dungeon Master Misfit, played by Joseph Quinn, brought a unique perspective to Stranger Things and appeared in memorable scenes such as his Master of Puppets solo in the heart of the Upside Down. Can't forget that. Sadly, he perished in the decisive conflict. Boo. According to Reddit, fans of the show anticipated Eddie's death. Eddie accomplished his destiny much like Alexei or Bob, passing away and crushing everyone's heart. Naturally, this didn't sit well with the supporters. Many people agree that Eddie's death was a shock value incident that might have been easily avoided. In a manifesto about it, a shout out to Redditor Birthday Weekend said that Eddie didn't need to perish in order to make amends for his sins, and that Season 4 suffered as a result of his tragic death.
I wouldn't remember me either, Chrissy. Honestly.
Next up, what's up with the CGI? The CGI was certainly better than what we've seen in other Netflix productions, but fans are used to a certain level of quality. Spectators were let down by the 4th season. The 5th one should hopefully do better. We think everyone would agree not all of the season's issues were script related. In fact, the visual effects of Season 4 have drawn some of the most severe criticism from fans. Their visuals were substandard for a show where CGI was obviously heavily used in production. Can't really argue with that. Despite Vecna being largely prosthetics and makeup, UNYR23LGR said that one's transition into Vecna resembled a video game sequence, and the fans deserve more. Following this, the story isn't that interesting. Fans of Stranger Things were certainly disappointed by the lack of a plot for the 3 most well-known characters in the show. Although there were a few tearjerkers, like the heart-to-heart between Jonathan and Will. Wait, that was pretty much all. The Hawkins, Nevada Desert, Russia, and the California group were all separate plots that finally intersected in Stranger Things, just like they had in previous seasons. The California gang garnered very little attention, despite the fact that all narratives had exciting action scenes and puzzles. Some individuals consider the entire Russian component to be absurd and strange. It doesn't seem to have any connection to the main plot, and was probably only included to give Joyce, Murray, and Hopper something to do. Will everything start to make more sense in Season 5?
I've been bullied my entire life. I mean, I know what it's like.
No.
Next up, we didn't get the closure we needed. The season's ending this year was a little too dramatic. The stakes were high the entire time, with Max being Vecna's bait, Eleven recovering her skills, and Hopper battling demo dogs in Russia. Once everything was settled, the story left a few loose ends undone. There was a 2-day gap after the episode's climax. This time jump seemed to be a little bit odd. When everything was over and the characters were safe, there was still a lot left unanswered. The strange 2-day leap seemed incomplete since the episode's climax came far sooner than it was supposed to. Many Redditors have blasted this poor decision. Some people feel that the show should have ended here because the finale felt rushed. Others simply believe the writing was again subpar. Nevertheless, the majority of viewers preferred a more rationally thought out ending, and the finale didn't have the ending fans were satisfied with. It almost seemed like another episode was needed crucially.
You and I, we are different.
Moving on with our list, Will's sexuality needs to be addressed. The fan base has been shipping Will and Mike for a time now. There are several instances in Stranger Things 4 where Will's obviously dealing with unrequited feelings, and fans believe that Will could be gay because of these scenes. Redditors are surprised that at this stage in the season, in 2022, the show hasn't made Will's sexuality clear. However, now that Noah Schnapp has confirmed that Will is in fact queer and in love with Mike, all those heartfelt scenes he acted in throughout the season make more sense, and we're hoping Netflix pays attention and clears it up in the 5th season.
For knocking some sense into me, I mean, I was being a total self-pitying idiot.
I didn't say it.
Following this, the love triangle's back. Let's be real, it seems forced for Steve and Nancy to start dating again. Also, going backward in this way and ignoring Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve's earlier character development is cruel to them. Stranger Things 4's tension between Jonathan and Nancy was one of the biggest surprises. They began the season unsure about their future, despite having 2 seasons of being the show's strongest couple. Nancy and Steve also grew closer yet again at the same time. Nobody anticipated seeing this love triangle again. Most Redditors believe that this love triangle was a needless addition to the show, despite the fact that it added some emotional drama to the season.
I know. It's just...
She's a super klutz.
Next up, we don't like Jason. Even though it's impossible to defend Jason, some fans say that his behavior is acceptable because he's grieving Chrissy. But Reddit says fans couldn't help but feel angry anytime he appeared on screen, despite the fact that he's crucial to the storyline. Let's be honest, there were so many new characters introduced in Stranger Things 4. Fans loved countless new characters, and it's very obvious that Jason wasn't one of them. He was a fairly stereotypical jock from the 1980s who led to Hawkins' moral crisis. Eddie's reputation and Max's life were destroyed by his irrational beliefs and growing rage. He was just a bully, nothing more. We agree with most fans when they say he got the end he deserved.
Eddie Munson! He's the leader of one of these cults!
Moving on with our list, Robin's boring love life. Since her debut in Season 3, Robin Buckley has become the show's queer icon. To the disappointment of the audience, the 3rd season refused to offer her a genuine love interest. By adding Vicky in the 4th season, Robin's love life was more developed, but the amount of screen time she got wasn't nearly enough or even close to what the fans wanted. Redditors appreciated Robin for getting more screen time, but felt that her crush on Vicky lacked significantly, and we can't stress this enough. The romance was perceived as forced by fans. Vicky and Robin's relationship was also boring because of how similar they were. Hopefully, the upcoming season will go further with this and give Robin a real love interest.
The point is that Vicky laughed and everything was just like, it was perfect.
Closing up our list, Will becomes a meme. This is a minor yet annoying quirk of the main topics of discussion about Stranger Things on social media. Fans claim that giving Will a bowl cut by the production team didn't improve Noah Schnapp's character in any way. Schnapp even requested a change on the grounds that he deserved better, and we agree with him. Fans think that Will's strange haircut was quite distracting while watching the show, despite the fact that it's a relatively small detail to get obsessed with. Many thought that his 80s style hairstyle spoiled most of the character's emotional scenes, including his talk with Mike. Fans have turned to memes about this absurd haircut as a coping mechanism. We would recommend you check them out. They're really funny. Okay, so the season does have some awkward moments, but that's a given when setting a show in the 1980s. In the end, the show is still quite addictive. There's a wide consensus that Season 4 isn't the worst, despite the widespread rumors that it's not the finest season. The majority believe Season 3 to be considerably worse. We predict that Season 5 will neatly wrap things up and take care of any loose ends left over from Season 4. Let's hope that Season 5 completely annihilates the past 4 seasons. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think was the biggest problem with this season? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.